Let's read that again. This is 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 13. I have surely built thee a house to dwell in, a settled place for thee to abide in forever. Now, if he's in the church houses, if it says here that he shall abide in forever, then why does Acts chapter 7, all right, verse 40, verse 47 to 48, it says that he don't dwell in temples because he's not in there. He said what? Heaven is my throne, earth is my footstool. So if that's the case, where does he dwell at and abide in forever? Up there in the spirit world, in the heavens, where he sits on his throne. All right? He don't dwell in these church houses. All right? It's all lies. All right? He's not in there. All right? He is in the heart and here and in the mind. All right? That's where he's at. And really, for Israel, for Israelites, and really Israelites that are under Yahweh Shai, all right, under the law of liberty, the freedom, all right, the law of liberty, not the law of Moses, because we are no longer under the law of Moses. We are under the new covenant now, which a lot of people believe that we're not, but we are. And they use Matthew chapter 5, all right, verse 17, that he just came not to destroy the law of the prophets, but to fulfill. He came to fulfill the law of liberty. Yahweh Shah was the only one that kept the law perfectly, all right. Israel, we needed a savior and a sacrifice. That's why Yahweh Shah came. He died. Once he took the vinegar, he bowed his head. He gave up the ghost. He rose. All power was transferred over to Yahweh Shai. And once that happened, and Israel died off, we didn't know who we are. Fast forward over here to America, the land of our captivity. We woke up to the truth, not knowing the truth and who we are and the names. All right. And now we're under Yahweh Shai, under the law of liberty. Israelites that are under the law of liberty, under Yahweh Shai, not Moses law, all right, but under the law of liberty, under Yahweh Shai, which is why when he was around, all right, and the Pharisees were there, all right, he said what? You are Moses' disciples, all right, and they said what? By their law, he ought to die. All right. He came to fulfill the law of liberty. We are not under the law of Moses no more. All right. So anyone that's teaching that you are to keep the law, they are deceiving you, because there is no way to do that. The whole entire sacrificial law was wiped out. The feast days, the high holy days, the calling of assemblies, the new moons, the Sabbaths, all of that. He said he hates that. It is iniquity, and he is weary to bear them, means that he is not dealing with that. He don't hear that. He's not listening to that. And he is not, we're not under that. All right. He is done with all of that. All right. The only ones that don't believe that are these false prophets and the Pharisees that's teaching that. They're lying. All right. And don't say you're keeping the law because you're lying. You're not keeping the law. It's impossible to keep it. All right. Yahweh Shai said that we are to love to love him. All right. And the Father, to fear and love him with all our hearts, all our mind, all thy soul, all thy strength, and to love one another, to love our neighbor as ourselves. All right. 10 commandments condensed down to 2. Love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, all thy soul, all thy mind. All right. To fear him, to love him. All right. To believe and trust him and believe and accept the law of liberty, all right, which he died for, all right, which you knuckleheads that don't believe, that blaspheme and scoff, reject and deny him, you stupid idiots, all right. He came to fulfill the law of liberty, all right, and what? For us, between man and man, to love one another, to love our neighbor as ourselves, all right? Simple. That's it. These Pharisees, all right, they don't believe that, and that's why they don't hear them. All right? That's why they don't get it. Especially you clowns that don't believe and you got an opinion and you think that this isn't the truth, and it's the truth. All right? Let's continue. All right? Verse 13. He said, I have surely built thee a house to dwell in, a settled place for thee to abide in forever. And the king turned his face about and blessed all the congregation of Israel. And all the congregation of Israel stood. And he said, verse 15, and he said, Blessed be the Lord, power of Israel, which spake with his mouth unto David, my father, and have with his hand fulfilled it, saying, verse 16, since the day that I brought forth my people Israel out of Egypt, I chose no city out of all the tribes of Israel to build an house, comma, that my name might be therein. But I chose David to be over my people Israel. Why? Who is the one shepherd? David. Where is David at today? He's alive. He's here. All right? And who is under the one shepherd, David? Under the royal house of David? The 1/3, the small remnant. The very small remnant, which is the royal house of David. And David is the shepherd, the one leader and shepherd, all right, over the flock, over us, over the flock. These Pharisees, they don't believe that, all right? They don't hear him, they hear Moses. So that doesn't apply to them. That applies to the flock, all right, the small remnant, the 1/3, which is under, all right, the law of liberty, all right, which are in the royal house of David, and David being the one shepherd. You clowns and idiots that don't believe that, it doesn't click in your within your spirit and in your head, because he ain't dealing with you. He blinded you. All right. It's that goes for the 1/3, the royal house of David, and David being the one shepherd. Let's read it again. It's common sense. Since the day that I brought forth my people Israel out of Egypt, I chose no city out of all the tribes of Israel to build a house that my name might be therein. But I chose David to be over my people Israel, and it was in the heart of David, my father, to build an house for the name of the Lord, power of Israel, the royal house of David. All right? That's what that's talking about. Get it? Verse 18, and the Lord said unto David, my father, whereas it was in thy heart to build an house unto my name, that thou unto my name thou didst well, that it was in thy heart. Nevertheless, thou shalt not build the house, but thy son that shall come forth out of the loins, he shall build the house unto my name, and the Lord hath performed his word that he spoke, and I am risen up in the room of David my father, and sit on the throne of Israel as the Lord promised, and have built a house for the name of the Lord power of Israel. And I have set there a place for the ark, wherein is the covenant of the Lord which he made with our fathers when he brought them out of the land of Egypt. And Solomon stood before the altar of the Lord in the presence of all the congregation of Israel, and spread forth his hands toward heaven. Now, who is Solomon? Yahushua. It's right there. Verse 23. And he said, Lord, power of Israel, there is no power like thee in heaven above or on the earth beneath, who keepest covenant and mercy with thy servants that walk before thee with all their heart, who has kept with thy servant David, my father, that thou promised him. Thou speakest also with thy mouth, and hast fulfilled it with thy hand, as it is this day. Therefore now, Lord, power of Israel, keep with thy servant David, my father, that thou promised him, saying, there shall not fail thee a man in my sight to sit on the throne of Israel, so that thy children take heed to their way, that they walk before me as thou hast walked before me. And now, O power of Israel, let thy word, I pray thee, be verified, which thou speakest unto thy servant David, my father. But will power indeed dwell on the earth? Behold, the heaven and heaven of heavens cannot contain thee. How much less this house that I have builded? Yet have thou respect unto the prayer of thy servant, and to his supplication. O Lord, my power, to hearken unto the cry and to the prayer which thy servant prayeth before thee today. That thine eyes may be open toward this house night and day, even toward the place of which thou hast said, my name shall be there, that thou mayest hearken unto the prayer which thy servant shall make toward his place. And hearken thou to the supplication of thy servant and of thy people Israel, when they shall pray toward this place. And hear thou in heaven thy dwelling place, and when thou hearest, forgive.